Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler V, series V's I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. Eat stuff and drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I've had 3 awesome snaps in a row. Like, that usually doesn't happen. Usually I have 1 or 2 that's a little bit, but no, 3 in a row. We're going for it. But we'll get past that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck, and whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means I was on my way home from work. I found some shit to review for you. That is definitely the case today. Went over there, I got off of work, decided to hit up the 7-Eleven, because it's been a little bit, a couple weeks since I'd hit up a 7-Eleven. I was like, let's hit up a 7-Eleven. And I'm going around, and I'd found a couple things, specifically, boom, Pepsi with peach, and boom, Pepsi with lime. I just got through reviewing both of those. Go watch those videos. And I was pretty much content. I was like, cool, that pretty much hits my quota for shit that I need to review. So I'm going around, I'm going up to the register, and I'm about to go over there and check myself out. And the guy, not even at the counter, he's doing other stuff. He's like, hey, if you're using card, could you use the self-checkout thing? Like, all right, what are you getting paid for? All right. So I went over there and I did that. And then right underneath the counter, like right at the front, I saw something. I was like, oh, damn, I got to review these. So, what did I find? What am I reviewing for you? Boom! It's Oreos, but it's not just any Oreos. It's fucking Sour Patch Kids Oreos. Woo! It's a limited edition flavor. Oreo's just throwing shit at the wall again, and I love them for it. So, Oreo is the is this what I'm trying to say? Oreo is the Mountain Dew of cookies. That's what I meant to say. I had it right in my head, and I just fumbled it. They just do whatever they want. They just play by their own rules. Let's get a thing for the thing. We get a thing for the thing. It looks like that. Interesting fun fact. I don't like Sour Patch Kids. I don't like sour, like, fucking, treats and stuff like that. But doesn't mean I'm not going to give them a fair shake. We'll see what I make of these little bastards. I'll say this, I'm happy that I got like a 4-pack and didn't get like the full thing, because I don't know that I'm going to be super into these. Looks like that. And it's got like little stuff on the inside. Let's give it a go. Okay. I'm enjoying these more than I thought I would. Okay, I can kind of get behind that. There's nothing I dislike about it. No, okay. It reminds me a little bit, several years back, Oreo had another wacky flavor. It was Cherry Coke Oreo. Kind of reminds me a little bit of that with like the fruitiness. It definitely has a very strong fruity flavor, which is not typically what I think of when I think of Oreos. You think more straight sweet, almost savory-ish kind of flavor combinations and stuff like that. These definitely, they're still very sweet, but yeah, they do have that fruitiness to them, which I can kind of get behind. And then at a certain point, the fruitiness kind of gives way to more of a sour aspect, as one would expect. I think why I can kind of get along with these is that, whereas with Sour Patch Kids, their sour power is unfettered, right? It's there, it's on display, you're getting hit with it. With these, because they've had to sort of dilute it, to make it work within the Oreo capacity, it's not as abrasive to me. It's a little bit more of a mix with the sweet and the tart. And if If you watch my channel, you know that I love, oh, why can't I think today? Contrasting flavors. So, you've got kind of a sweetness, you've got a fruitiness, and then you've got a tartness, all sort of working together and kind of working in different waves. They're not bad. I can actually sort of get behind these. I don't think these would ever be favorites of mine, but as a limited edition one, sure. And initially it just kind of starts out as a basic Oreo, just a white Oreo. But then that fruitiness really kind of hits your tongue. If I was going to kind of describe the fruitiness, sort of a generic fruity. It's got a tartness to it, but like the flavor itself behind it, it could be like almost a berry, maybe something like a tart cherry kind of flavor. But it's nice. It's a little bit weird because it's not what I'm expecting from an Oreo, but there's nothing that I actively dislike about it. Especially with these weird flavors, it can be a little bit tenuous when it comes to Oreo because sometimes they have to really pump up the artificial flavoring to make these things work. And I've had some Oreos that tasted like straight chemicals. Like you'd get the flavor, but then it would just be chemical aftertaste. These don't have this. They're just basic white Oreos with some fruitiness, some tartness. And for me, it's all within reasonable levels. Stuff that I can get behind and kind of work with. I kind of like these. Like, I'm not going to, again, they would never be a favorite of mine. But as a limited edition thing, as kind of a one-off, I'm definitely still happy, though, that I just got the 4-pack instead of, like, a full thing. But 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get them again? Would I recommend them? Maybe on occasion, and sure. I think for me personally, as an occasional 4-pack grab, every once in a while, wouldn't be a weekly thing, probably wouldn't even be a monthly thing, maybe bi-monthly, just every once in a while, because like they are interesting and kind of fun, and I appreciate what they're doing, and especially the fact that they worked in ways that I didn't expect them to. So I'll give them their kudos in that regard. But again, I would definitely still stick closer to the Oreo home base than this one, which I feel is a little bit more of an oddball colony. And if I'm recommending them to people, I really do think that people should give these a shot. These are one of those ones where I think even if you're like me, where you're not really that into the idea at a glance, give them a go. Because first and foremost, I think they did a really interesting job with it, and I think that they actually made it work surprisingly well. But beyond that, like, this is one of those things where, like, I don't know that they're going to be anybody's favorite Oreos, but they are fun. Like, there's a genuine kind of childhood joy that comes with these Oreos, and the somewhat absurdity of it brings that joy out even more so. And the fact that they actually managed to make it work, and it actually isn't just tasting like horse anus, yeah, give them a go. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there, have yourselves a truly Sour Patch Kids-tastic rest of your life, I guess. Mm-hmm. Some people like them. They're not my jam, personally. I'm not sour gummy worms, not that guy. Last time I had sour gummy worms, I think a guy from work had a pack, he left them up, and he was like, fuck it, just take them. And I was hungry, so I ate the damn things, and I was like, okay, I guess. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated, but what you do can't do all the time. I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important that we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there. Maybe you have an Oreo idea that they haven't gotten to yet. Now, I'm sure that they've got it in the works somewhere, because it's Oreo. There's no way they don't. But what is it? And I promise I'm not going to steal it. You take your intellectual property, all that stuff. I would genuinely be really interested to hear what people, what type of Oreos would other people be interested in? Because it's one of those things, at a glance, it's kind of like, oh, yeah, I could come up with an idea for that. But then it's harder, for one thing, a lot of them have been done already. But then even beyond that, it's trying to find ones that would, actually work well. And I think that's one that's really kind of, that's one that's harder. As I'm trying to think about it now, it's I would really need to sit and kind of work on that a little bit, let it roll through my brain. But if you guys have any ideas, hey, like I said, feel free to comment it. We can chat about it, what have you. And, depending on circumstances, I may or may not steal your idea and make $800 million. I'm just saying.